All right, it is the oh wow, I guess it's the third weekend in April, and we are going to look at the orchard now. So, as you can see from the overview, lots of changes. Basically, the biggest changes you see usually are the leaves popping out, and obviously that changes the way it looks a lot. It doesn't look like just skeletons anymore. Put some actual leaves on there. So take a quick look at the pear first. Lots of most of the leaves have already came out of this stage here and are actually out the poking out stage. It probably won't be long before we start to see some new growth as far as the new branches and stuff, but right now it's just focusing on opening up those leaf buds that are there. And then here's the flowers. Most of the there's still a few flowers, but most of them are, you can see here, that's the flower, and now it's losing its petals, and then basically all the petals are gone, and then it starts to just dry up. So basically you can see here the fruit is there and it's starting to swell up. So if it got fertilized, it'll swell up and become a fruit. If not, it won't. So, but what we'll do is go in there and thin these out to 1 per pot. So this particular one here has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 different flowers, which could be fruit. So we don't want that much. We just want 1. The general rule for thinning. That helps to decrease the amount of pests and also makes the plant a lot easier to improves the structure, because you see this branch right here, it's from here, comes out, and it's got some pretty bad angles. So if there were a bunch of pears here, this would be hanging down totally, and if there were pears on this part too as well. So anyway, we'll get into that later about the thinning stuff, but for now we're just taking a look. But that is where that will be going. So leaves are all open, which, like I said, changes it, makes it look more like a real tree instead of just the naked tree. So then on the cherry tree, we have a lot of blossoms or flowers still on the back side of the fence there. But most of the stuff right here you can see it's gone. Flowers are all gone, and we're looking at petals falling off and everything. So it's the way it goes, the process there. So flowers up there, and then you can see here the petals starting to fall off, petals all the way off, and then we can see here. So here we have the petal, and I just popped it off, and that is the fruit right there. Those will be cherries. So cherries, 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 cherries. Lots and lots of cherries. Everywhere you see a flower, that will be a cherry, if pollination happened. And it looks like it did, because they're starting to swell up. So when we get lots of this stuff right here, it's basically the dried up parts of the flower. And it comes and coats everything, lays all over the ground. And that is how it goes. But basically, you can see that we're gonna definitely have some cherries this year. So anyway, that is the cherry tree. Lots of leaves popping out now. It's always hard for me to remember what they looked like a week ago, but because I look at them all the time. But anyway, fruit's developing, and we have leaf popping out. Apple tree, leaves are really popping here. To recap from last week, we only have a couple of fruit buds set. There were 2 on that side. I found a 3rd one here today when I was walking around. It's kind of hidden from me, but that's all there is that I could see. There's probably a couple more hidden, but basically this apple tree is going to take the year off, which is, it's fine. It is what it is, and not much but I can do about it. But there is, still want to obviously take a look and make sure that everything's good and check things out. But tree appears to be doing pretty good. It's got lots of leaves, and we'll just keep watching it. And that's that. All right, for the peach tree, we have all of the stuff here. Leaves are out. They're doing well. Haven't seen any problems. And we're starting to get the flower petals falling off here. And if I can do this here gently, it looks like it doesn't want to come off quite yet. You can see the green little tip there. That's going to be the peach forming in there, just like with everything else. The fruit, the center of the flower, where the bee or the insect pollinates, and the little fruit ovaries in there will be the one that swells up, and they'll knock the little flower off when it's done. So looks like they're not quite ready to, I believe it's called shuck split when they push off that thing. But anyway, we're definitely getting closer to there, and the leaves are popping out, so that's good, since that's how the fruit or the tree gets all of its energy. So let's look at the other pear tree. Same as the other one. Lots of these, little fruits that got fertilized, and no problems noted. So looking good. And then we'll go into our ginormous apricot tree. And there's lots and lots of fruit that are fertilized on it. I try not to get too excited at this point, because that's kind of been what's happened. Because in the past 2 years, we haven't had any apricots actually make it to maturity, even though there have been these. There are literally thousands of apricots on this tree right now. If you can see, all those little nodules that you see are fruit. All along all those little things. You probably can't exactly make it out, but you can see the little bumps. And then here they are here. That's what they are. So they're little, from pea to bigger than a pea size. And you can see the shuck coming off there. That's what we got. But just because they get to this size doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to make it all the way. Sometimes when they hit the frost damage, I've seen them go past this stage and then die later. So we'll just have to keep an eye on them and see what's going to happen. And the leaves are starting to come out now. So it's interesting that this one was a much later, much more delayed leaf production than the, in relation to the fruit, the leaf versus the fruit versus some of the others where the leaves are boom up before this happens. I did notice we might have some issues here. We had this before. These guys, see the little spots there. I think it's a fungal type thing. I probably should look into treating that. It's just basically a cosmetic thing. There's really no problem. You take the flesh off and you take the skin off and it's totally fine. So may deal with that, maybe not. Like I said in the past, it's been there, but then if the fruit dies, it's no kind of pointless to try and treat them. So anyway, there are lots and lots of fruit, and they are maturing. We'll just have to see if they're going to make it. Like I said, just thousands of them. All those little bumpy nodules there. So anyway, that is the apricot, and that is the orchard for this week. So we basically have had lots of leaf development, and so seen some apricots swelling up and starting to see the cherries actually forming up. So we'll see more to come next week, and that's it for now. Thanks for watching.